Yo, what up? What's good, family? I am happy y'all are here. Love when I see you guys. But listen, this is not a normal video like usual, right? For some of you that do not know, I have been blessed to become a Course Careers coach. After I graduated, landed my position, they decided to make me a coach. So not only do I do some one-on-one coaching, I also do some group coaching, but also part of that is I get the opportunity to drop some content, some coaching content, specifically on the Course Careers YouTube page. So y'all also know I wasn't gonna drop no content and not make sure y'all get it too, right? So this is the video. We about to jump right into it. But before we jump into that, y'all know what I need y'all to do. I need y'all to do one thing for me. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that note. Okay, that's not one thing. That's 4 things. But do those 4 things for me. If you like the content, you get value out of it. Like it, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, or don't. We don't care. Do what you want to do with your YouTube experience. But nah, for real, we are on the road to 1,000. We're really close to 1,000 subscribers. So y'all, if y'all got some love for your boy, go ahead and hit that subscription bell. Right? It costs you absolutely nothing. It's free to do. Now, with that being said, CTT family, we get into the content.
Don't play me, pay me. Cut the tech.
What up, Course Careers family? It is your boy Dre from Cut the Tech, but we here on the Course Careers channel today. So instead of just calling me Dre, y'all can call me Coach Dre. Rather you call me Dre or Coach Dre, there is one rule that always applies. My wife, my mother, and my grandmother call me Andre. Y'all call me Dre. If you are not those 3 people, do not, I repeat, do not call me Andre. So what's up, y'all? I am happy to be here, man, to give some coaching. I'm going to share a little bit about my story and a little bit about how you could transition from a traditional sales job to a tech sales job, right? Or SDR position. They're 2 different things. They have similar names, but they're 2 different things. A little bit about me. Before I saw Course Careers a couple of months ago, I was working 2 full-time jobs. One of those jobs, my main job, was a traditional sales position. Now, I've been in traditional sales for over 9 years. And so me making the transition from traditional sales to tech sales, I think I'd have a very good idea of how to tell you how to do that, right? So let's just get into what is the difference. What is a traditional sales job, all right? So traditional sales, the salesperson is responsible for the full sales cycle. So that is everything from prospecting, which is going out and finding the clients, qualifying, so reaching out to those clients and finding out if they're a good fit for what your product actually is, presenting, which is basically showing them how your product could fit their problem, overcoming objections. So now that they've seen your product and you've shown them that it can fit their needs, now they're going to start coming up with either reasons why they can't do it or why they shouldn't do it right now. It's your job to overcome those objections and get them to closing the deal. Another part of that is negotiating. Depending on what product it is that you're selling or where you are, you might have the power to negotiate pricing. And so you get to kind of play the game with them, a little bit of give and take. That can be fun also. Ultimately, what you want to do, close the deal. Understand this. In the traditional sales system, your goal is to close the deals. Coffee is for closers. Now, one of the main pros of being a full sales cycle, traditional sales position, is you get to build long-lasting relationships with people. That's one thing that I did love. I did enjoy having conversations with some of my clients, because in my position, not only did I do all those things, but I also, after they became a client, I was then their account executive that watched over their account and made sure they were taken care of as long as they were with our company. So I've got friends who I've developed from those relationships who still, even though I'm not that company no more, to this day, we still talk. They're great. I know their kids. I know what they like. Like, I built good relationships. It's fun. Now, in comparison, what is a tech sales job, or specifically a SDR or BDR role? So as an SDR or a BDR, you do not do the full sales cycle, okay? Your job is to do just the first part of it. So you're responsible for the prospecting. So you're reaching out to the companies. You're finding who are the right ICPs or ideal customer profiles, or who are the buyer personas within the company, And then you're doing your due diligence to find out how to reach them, whether it's by call or by text, or if it's by email, or it could be LinkedIn, or whatever type of outreach your particular company is doing. That's what you'll use to kind of reach out to those different people. Now, once you found those people, you find out, hey, is this a good fit for you guys? And you work alongside with your AE. So the AE is the account executive, okay? Their job is to be the one who does the presenting, the closing, and all that good stuff. So you work alongside of them. You do the first half. All your job is to set up the meeting with your AE with a qualified buyer so that your AE can have a successful meeting with that person. So if I were to explain the difference between the two with an analogy, I'll use a sports analogy, right? As a traditional salesperson, I felt more like LeBron when he played for the Cavaliers early in his career. Right? He had no help. It was just him. He had to do it all. He had to shoot. He had to play defense. He had to rebound. He had to do everything. And he got the satisfaction of taking that team all the way to the finals by himself. Right? That's a huge accomplishment. I'm sure he had fun doing it. But when I switched over to become a tech sales or a SDR, I felt more like this picture right here. See, no longer was I LeBron. See, now my AE is LeBron. I feel more like Dwayne Wade. So it's my job to go out and find out who it is that we're going to talk to. Who's qualified to talk to my AE? I say it's kind of like I get the rebound. It's my job to run the floor, read the defense. And then at some point, I know that this monster's coming behind me. So I just dish off the assist. And I look at the crowd like this while my AE does the rest of the work. If y'all learn anything about me in the way that I coach, I'm going to give an analogy. And more than likely, it's probably going to be a sports analogy. Yo, what up, family? Hey, I had to jump in real quick just to kind of get this quick plug. Listen, over here at Cut the Tech, we are all about breaking into the tech field. Now, our weapon of choice is Course Careers, and they are the sponsors of today's video. So listen, over at Course Careers, they're going to teach you a couple of different things. Whether you want to learn about IT, you want to do some digital marketing, or if you want to learn about tech sales. It is a self-paced and learn as you go type of program. So they're going to be able to help take you from no experience at all to enough experience to where you stand out in front of other companies that are looking to hire whatever position that you want. Now, here's the best thing about Course Careers. It's only $500. Now, because you're my people, I told them, hey, I want my people to be able to break in too. So they said, look, we're going to give you a $50 gift code. So if you use the discount code, cut the 50, that's your way of telling them, hey, Dre sent me. And they're going to cut $50 off for that. So if you think you have any interest in those things, look, there's a link below. Go down there, click on it, watch the quick little introductory video. And if you like it, then go ahead and get started and make sure to use that code. Save yourself some money. Now, back to the video. Now, with that being the case, now that you know the difference between the two, here's a question I get all the time. Dre, do I have to be a salesperson in order to do tech sales? And the quick answer to that is no. Course Careers is going to teach you everything that you need to know on how to be a SDR or a BDR specifically. Every single thing that you need to know how to do that job, you can do it without being a sales person. Now, I will say this. If you're coming from a traditional sales background, some of those skills will be transferable. And now, for me, it was just the love of being on the phones, right? You cannot be afraid to be on the phone if you're going to be an SDR. But if you're somebody that's got a traditional sales background, you're coming from a background of being on the phones. Me personally, at my last position, I was already having to make 60, 80, 100 calls a day. I already knew what that was. So now being on the phone is nothing for me. Actually, being on the phone is actually fun for me. So I like talking to people. I like getting to know people. I like being personable with people. And all that lends itself to being a good SDR because you know how to speak to them. You know you're interrupting their day. You know how to meet them where they are and then find out what their needs are and then just set up a meeting for them. It's pretty simple. Okay, so let's give a couple of differences between the two now that I've broken into tech sales, right? One major thing that I realized is different is the work environment. Now, at my last position, I had a hybrid role. So I was at home or working from home 2 days a week, but we had to be in office at least 3 days a week. Now, there may be some tech sales jobs where you have to be in office, but I'm just giving you my experience, right? I work 100% remote at my new position, right? And so working in that environment where I work from home has its benefits. Another thing I noticed about the two is the work environment is different. So at my traditional sales jobs, the quotas were super high. The upside of how much you can make was great, but the quotas were so high that often you would find that the turnover rate would be extremely high, right? And so a lot of people would have a negative mind frame coming to work because it's a fear thing. I have to hit my quota. I have to hit my quota. I have to hit my quota. And a lot of times that quota is hard to hit. Well, here on the tech sales side, we still have quotas also, but everyone that I've run into has seemed to have a much better outlook on their quotas. At the jobs that I've seen, where I'm at particularly, and then other people that I know, it seems to be a little bit simpler to hit your quota because you don't have the pressure of overcoming certain objections, right? If I'm just being honest, one of the major objections that we always had to overcome at my old positions was I don't have money, or I don't have time, or I got to talk to my business partner, or if their business partner was their spouse, listen, if somebody tell you I got to talk to my wife, it's a wrap. You're not overcoming that objection, man. You got to be a guru to overcome that. But over here in tech sales, the biggest objection I have to overcome is, hey, I don't have time to talk right now. Okay, great. If you know how to do sales, you know how to get through that objection. You can either set a different time to talk, or you can find a way to just ask, hey, do you have 30 seconds for me to tell you kind of what I'm going through? If not, then we can set a different time. It's really, really simple. It's really laid back. Now let's get to the main thing. What really sets it apart? Dre, why did you decide to jump into course careers and jump into tech sales? And I'm gonna be completely honest with you. It's because the money is different. So I'll give you an example. At one of my positions that I had, my traditional sales jobs, right? They were paying me about $40,000 on a annual salary type deal. Well, hourly. It was hourly. It wasn't salary. It was hourly, right? So they pay you about $40,000, and then your job was to hit your quota. Once you hit your quota, anything that you made over that quota, where you got a percentage of that. Well, the problem, like I said before, was the quota was extremely high in some places. And so majority of people just didn't they didn't get to bonuses because they struggled just to get to the quota, right? Now, compare that to what I've seen as an SDR. So you've got a base salary, right? Which was more than what my base salary was at my last position. And then you have your on target earnings. Your on target earnings is pretty much your quota. So for my last job, I had to hit this quota. Well, here with your on target earnings, if you hit that particular number, just enough to pretty much keep your job, well, then you get extra bonuses. It's almost $25,000 more than what I was making from the last position. So doing less work, because I only do half the sales cycle, having an easier quota to get to, and then getting almost twice the pay. Where do I sign up again? Not only that, but at some companies, you can go over your quota. And so then you have accelerators. And so the further you get up that number of whatever your quota is, it could be 4, it could be 12, it could be 20. It all depends on what company you work at. But as those accelerators kick in, you can really start to run that bag up. And speaking of running up the bag, here's what I love most about what I've experienced in tech sales so far: the trajectory of growth. So I would see people at traditional sales places where I worked at, they would get stuck, and then people either quit or get fired, and the turnover was like over and over and over, like a revolving door of people going in and out of that place. Well, in tech sales is a little different because, like I said, as those accelerators kick in and as you're doing your job, the career path to grow is like pretty much set out for you. So you could end up being a senior SDR or BDR. You could end up going up to be a account executive if you want. And every time that you move up, that number goes up, right? So you could easily start off at an entry-level position of an SDR, making on average, let's just say $70,000 a year. And then within a year and a half, 2 years, be making well over 6 figures. And on top of that, you've got the experience that can help you do other things, even if you want to move outside of sales. So if you've got any kind of entrepreneurial skills or things that you want to do, sales will help you develop those skills that you'll need to be able to sell your product outside of work. So that is it. I am your boy, Coach Dre. I've had an amazing time here telling y'all what's going on with my experience, my transition into the tech field. And so look, if you want more information about where you can follow me, you can go to my YouTube channel, Cut the Tech. There'll be a link down in the description for you to be able to go check that out. If you want some coaching from me, you like my coaching style, I'll also have a link down below where you can be able to get some one-on-one coaching with me or some group coaching with me. And on top of all that, if you're somebody who came across this channel and you haven't decided to get involved with Course Careers yet, well, look, what are you waiting for? Go down to the link below, sign up for the free course. And if you want to do the class, you can use my code CUT50 and save yourself $50. Now, with all that said, now that we've had this conversation and you check me out, I consider you guys to be family now, right? So with my family and what we do over at Cut the Tech, we have a motto. Look, we come to the tech field so we can help other people get into the tech field, all right? There's money to be made over here, and we gonna show y'all how to get to the money too. So once you get through Course Careers, get yourself set up, we gonna show you how to go into the market and tell them our motto. And that motto is this: don't play me, pay me. Cut the Tech. You heard?
Don't play me, pay me. Cut the tech.